It's August, the days are getting shorter, and so are the books. It's time for Shorty September. In case you're not familiar with it, Shorty September is a reading challenge that focuses on short books and quick reads hosted by the good folks at Story Time. Now, reading challenges can be overcomplicated with very intricate scoring systems and a lot of rules, but not this one. This one is just a series of prompts that you can use or not use to discover some really good and really quick reads. So I thought it would be nice to give my own literary and classical spin on those prompts that were given. If you want to know more about the Shorty September challenge, I will link their launch video down below in the description, so you can have a look if you want to. I'm going to rapid fire through 10 of their prompts, so if you want to know more about the books I'm talking about, do check the description down below. Enough explanation, let's go Shorty September. First prompt is an unexpected purchase, and it's not really a purchase, but I picked this little book. It's Paris au XXe siècle, which is roughly translated as Paris in the 20th century by Jules Verne. Now, this is a book that I found on the Parisian subway on my last visit over there, and there's even a little hotel note in it that says, "Dear guest, welcome to Paris. Please find this given to you, and we hope you will enjoy your visit. From desk Victoria." So, thank you, Victoria. I will be reading this little book instead. Haven't read this before, don't know much about it. I know it is the early works of Jules Verne, and it is about Paris in the 20th century. Number 2 is a book with water on the cover, and I had to go with The Deep by River Solomon. I've talked about this novella. It is beautiful, it is sad, it is gut-wrenching, it will tear your heart out, but it is absolutely worth the read. It is an evocative narrative about that precarious balance between being there for your culture, for your society, for your community, and on the other side, not losing oneself and finding the time and the effort to care for yourself. Gorgeous novella, reads really quick, and I absolutely recommend it. Number 2, The Deep by River Solomon. Next one up is Read a Book, Then Watch the Movie. Well, this book was written by the author when she was only 18. It was perceived from a nightmare she had, and it is an absolute classic. I'm talking about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. You can pick any film, any series, there's lots of them to choose from, but read the book first because it is an absolute classical masterpiece. Number 3, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Number 4, a book with magic or witchcraft, and I'm going for The Cat Who Saved Books. Just shy of 220 pages, this magical realism gets rather cozy. It is a beautiful tale about a boy who takes care of a bookshop, meets a magical cat, and they set on a lot of adventures together to save books and reading as we know it. It's a very endearing story. The cat is a great character, but it is also great criticism of how we treat books and reading and the whole connection with social media today. So absolutely recommend it if you're into books, if you're into reading. The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. Next prompt is a spicy read or a really revealing gossipy biography. I don't have much spice in my selection, but I do have some gossipy biographies or semi-biographies, and I'm going for A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. A Movable Feast is basically almost a diary of Hemingway when he was staying in Paris, and he describes his relationship, the time he was living there, friends, acquaintances, and there is quite some gossip in this one. It is one of my favorites to reread in the fall, perhaps not one of Hemingway's best books, but it really gives a great insight into his life. So for a revealing gossipy biography, I'm going for A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. Next one up is a very simple prompt, a modern classic. And while very simple, this was hard to choose from because there are so many great modern classics that are actually quite short books and quick reads. But in the end, I had to go, and this will not surprise you, with To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Just on cover alone, this book slays it. And it is one of the best Virginia Woolf books out there. I'm not going to rant about her again. If you want to know more, you can always watch this video. But yeah, as a modern classic, very quick read, very short book, To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Number 8, a comfort read, and for me that would be the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series by, and I'm going to look here again, Toshikazu Kawaguchi. It is a beautiful magical realism series about a cafe where you can go back in time and relive memories, have that conversation that you've never been able to have, and just, it is a very, very feel-good but also very sad book. It is about the human condition in all of its forms, and I absolutely love this series. It is very short, this one is not even 200 pages, so really worth the time. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Kawaguchi, a series that is one of my absolute comfort reads. I lost count by now, but next prompt is to read a slasher or mystery. Now, I don't think I have short slashers in my collection, but for mysteries I am going with The Mysterious Mr. Quin by Agatha Christie. My copy is just shy of 250 pages, so for me that still counts as a short read. Mr. Quin, one of the unknown characters of Agatha Christie, but one that I absolutely love. This is where Agatha Christie goes a bit experimental, I guess, when she invents a character that is a bit magical, in fact. It's something totally different than Poirot or Miss Marple, and is one of my absolute favorite Agatha Christie characters. So, The Mysterious Mr. Quin by Agatha Christie for a mystery prompt. Next one up is a historical read, and I'm going for something a bit different here. I'm going for Umberto Eco's Numezero. Now, I realize that I haven't talked about Umberto Eco yet on this channel, and that's something I really need to change, because he is one of my all-time favorite authors. Numezero is a book about Italy in the 90s and the rise to power of Silvio Berlusconi. It deals with corruption, with very dodgy politics, with the role of the media, and it reads like a thriller almost. If Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code and Umberto Eco's In the Name of the Rose had a love child, then I guess this book would be it. So perhaps not as ancient history as you would expect, but Numezero is a very agreeable read actually, and a very good gateway into Umberto Eco's oeuvre. For an historical read prompt, I'm going with Umberto Eco's Numezero. For the last prompt, which is a translated book, I'm going for The Coming of Joachim Stiller by Hubert Lampo. Now, I couldn't find my copy here somewhere, and I have to go search for it, but The Coming of Joachim Stiller by Hubert Lampo is an absolute classic in Belgian literature. It is translated into many languages. I even think they made a film of it. It is magical realism at its best, and you should absolutely read it. The story is about Freek, who is a journalist at the end of his career, and he doesn't want to go out and do, you know, the exciting stuff anymore. He's content to sit behind his desk and just see life flow by, until he starts noticing that everywhere he goes, this one mysterious figure, Joachim Stiller, enters his life. He gets mysterious letters, he finds mysterious newspaper articles. Everywhere he goes, he sees this figure, or this name, Joachim Stiller. And so he decides to go after him and find out who this mysterious figure is. Not going to say much more about the story, you have to discover it for yourself. But this book was one of those books that we had to read for school, but I actually enjoyed in doing so. So, The Coming of Joachim Stiller by Hubert Lampo as our 10th and last prompt for a translated book. And there you have it, a rapid fire of 10 very short books, all under 250 pages, that I will be reading for Shorty September. And now I want to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comments which books you would pair with which prompts, or which books that I'm going to read you absolutely love. Let me know and we'll talk short books some more. And when you're down there in the comments, do check out a description, do check out the launch video for Shorty September and all of the books that I talked about. And in the meantime, if you need some more recommendations, you can always go here.